8 from week 1, 2, 3, and now we have 2 left to decide today. And after a bit of a wait, we are ready to actually get started. So it's going to be Ranger starting off versus Ranger on both accounts. Makes a lot of sense. Amazing start for prox1mo, being able to command both rail and heavy armor at the same time, and he's going to use that rail to great effect. Baksteen to lead immediately. Now he's going to get that spawn, and they know that must be something they're trying to manipulate spawn-wise. They always stand there and they always get ready there. And then you've just got Visor saying, "I see you there. I see you looking at my spawn." But he gone to the gauntlet. Not quite sure what he's waiting for here. Potentially looking for a Visor to drop down, I think. Yeah, Baksteen, it sounds like he only has a super shotgun. That's going to be good data for prox1mo, that's for sure. And now prox1mo got that early frag. Could easily go back to the classic. He doesn't need to be the one that's overly aggressive here. Oh, a little bit of damage coming out. Let's not forget this is Visor. Visor is pretty much, yeah, quite as good. Visor is pretty much stuck here. He's going to be able to see where Ranger is. Oh, wow. A direct 100 damage. Quick mild rocket jump, just to get a little bit of height. We can hear him. Oh, big damage coming through now. This could be the decider. Trying to actually surprise him with a super shotgun, but not amazingly rewarded for it. That point-blank super doing 120 damage. If you get a good point-blank shot, it's definitely going to be worthwhile. More damage than a gauntlet, which is traditionally the weapon you see used in that ambush situation. I actually don't think prox1mo's missed a rail yet. Yeah, his accuracy so far has been superb. You can see Baksteen just being very careful, not wanting to commit to anything that will get him killed. And again, prox1mo favoring this mega health heavily. Really doesn't want to give up control of this. Oh, just catches the rail there. Yeah, Baksteen is kind of just confining himself to this corner of the map. He's doing a good job of not getting caught out, but the problem is, it's a defensive style that you really can't afford to make when you're down on champions. I know 2.5 minutes is enough time to really sit there and be careful, not overextend yourself too heavily, but I think that's why prox1mo is not really pushing the advantage. He's quite happy keeping Baksteen pushed back there while he can control both heavy armor and mega health. As long as he's here, Baksteen really isn't able to push safely. Now he's got that heavy armor. That's going to be a start, but undoes a lot of that armor by landing the rail. Oh, misses that one. He does teleport to it. Baksteen capitalizes. Now prox1mo find low on health for the first time. Quickly tops himself back up to max. Only one rocket left. Now it's gone. He is super low though. The important thing there was definitely just making sure Baksteen didn't get it, rather than him himself having it. Now this was a thoroughly dominant start for prox1mo, but Baksteen has just forced this to slow down. Minute and a half left, but unfortunately he's still down on champions. I think just the way prox1mo is happy to play as well. Ooh, see an exchange. Was not ready for the Visor to be lying in wait there. Is he going to push it? No. Deems it a little bit too risky, no doubt. There's that piercing sight. Oh, wow. Big damaging sequence, but Baksteen still has a lot of health left after that somehow, because he took the risk to go in and take that heavy armor and it paid off, but no, the missed rail! prox1mo still alive now with the 1 minute warning. Pressure's on for Baksteen to make something happen. Baksteen's waiting. He was not ready! The patience from Baksteen to just wait for him. And now he himself has the spawn. Now we're tied up. He's gone for Blazkowicz. Yep, he wants the frag. He doesn't want to survive. He wants the frag. If you've got someone that's picked Nyx and Blazkowicz, and they pick either of them, it's pretty much they're pretty much telling you how they plan on taking that next champion. What, Nyx to run away and Blazkowicz to just kill you? Exactly. Right, the piercing sight is down. He's not going to have that for a while. Oh.
we go, mega health for Baksteen, and a little bit of armor too. Oh, it's chasing him down. prox1mo is quite low on health. Oh, the dual wield, but wow, instantly taken down.
That was a really nice turnaround, especially after such an amazing start. But, I mean, when you think about it, the patience is what really benefited him there. That second frag that we saw, where he sat there for so long. Baksteen was sitting by regular armor, just near Mega, and he was there for like a good 8 seconds. And he just lied in wait, ambushed him with the LG, and that was more than enough.
Let's not forget though, prox1mo had a really strong start to the first round, and Baksteen ultimately not letting him do the same thing again.
It means that prox1mo is going to have to be a little bit more careful about how he approaches certain areas. He got fragged by Baksteen because he didn't cover all of his bases. The one place he didn't look was where Baksteen was waiting for him.
But Baksteen had like committed to that ambush as well.
He got 100 damage rocket. You wonder if it's enough.
Oh,
misses the rail, prox1mo. Is he still trying to fight? No, he's just trying to run. Wondering if Baksteen knew that prox1mo was as weak as he was. He got 100 damage and then some, and prox1mo was unbelievably weak, but he didn't chase it down.
prox1mo desperately waiting on this armor to respawn. He knows he needs it. But Baksteen is just, every time he takes any damage whatsoever, he's just making sure he is as full as possible at all times. prox1mo once again taken low. Whoa. Another miss. prox1mo was perfectly on point for these rails at the start, but now not so much. He's getting chased, and there we go. The frag goes to Baksteen immediately.
Kind of seems like his accuracy for the time being is failing him, but on the flip side, Baksteen's been able to reverse it, and he's gone in for the dual wield, but Baksteen was way too stacked. We talked about how an early dual wield on spawn can be really dangerous. Not so much when you have lots of armor and health and an LG.
Oh wow, he chased him down. Is this going to be a clean round? Not quite. prox1mo very close. Oh, he mustn't have had more than like 5 health left at the end there.
Also, that's a killing spree. It's been quite a while since prox1mo actually managed to get a frag on this Ranger.
Indeed, that was a dominant round. Whatever Baksteen's adjusted to, it is working out for him. I think if anything, it's just absolute control of pickups.
Sometimes early starts can just cause you to wake up. If you have a bad start, it kind of makes you go, right, okay, well, that didn't start well. Now I'm going to start playing properly. Not to say that's what's happening here, but
sometimes it can be a bit of a wake-up call when you have that rough start and you realize, okay, well, you know, clearly I'm making XYZ mistakes. Oh, good shot coming out from prox1mo. One of prox1mo's downfalls so far is not really hitting these rails now.
He definitely hasn't seen
hello.
prox1mo actually appeared in front of him and not behind him, just for that extra element of surprise.
Clearly that's the thing that Baksteen just wasn't ready for. He is back on this Visor that we saw do a lot of work in round 1.
Absolutely.
Once again, Baksteen is just keeping his distance.
Ooh, he's been managing his walk, or his lack of noise, really well. He's been consistently hard to pinpoint exactly where he is. These ambushes have been helping him so many times in these frags, but here comes prox1mo with a chase. It's not going to matter. It doesn't matter.
He just picked up heavy armor as well. Look, but this armor won't save you with no health.
Oh, wow. Okay, well, we may see a potential comeback here.
Maybe.
Nyx is a comeback machine.
It's going to be Nyx versus Blazkowicz and Ranger. So Blazkowicz with that shred potential, but prox1mo seem to go for Ranger first.
Definitely don't count them out. 4 seconds left on that heavy armor. He's going to be up there waiting for it.
Oh yeah, he knows.
If you catch someone on a read, you can do so much damage. But right there, it didn't matter. I was convinced he was going to get fragged there, but actually, right as he collected the Mega, he had like 108 left. He could not have been any weaker in that situation.
Yeah, would have had about 8 health. So well managed by prox1mo. He might be able to start this comeback a little bit now. I mean, he has to obviously get 3 rounds in a row, but
that was just good aim.
That's
really
what I mean.
Good aim.
But when prox1mo's aim is on point, he is a monster.
As that Dire Orb to stay a little bit safer, not taking unnecessary damage, but here comes prox1mo again. He's jumping down, he's being aggressive. That's Baksteen, I should say, because prox1mo's Nyx.
Oh, rail not quite connecting.
Respectable rocket there to try and deny it. Gets
Oh,
another
big
one
damage.
after the Mega gets collected as well. Baksteen is playing on the back foot a little bit here now. Here we go. Here comes prox1mo. He's dead. He is so dead.
Oh, wow. That was self-damage on a Ranger too. He mustn't have had any health left at all.
Really masterful play there, going in for the rocket jump so he can cover all that space with the invisibility. There was no way Baksteen was going to be ready for that. And that's one thing we haven't seen a huge amount today. The invisible ambushes that Nyx consistently goes for. We haven't really seen much at all, because when a lot of Nyx players are going for that invisibility into ambush, they're essentially visible when they go into it. So they're not able to actually surprise people at all.
People are also starting to be a lot more careful when they see a ghost walk.
But the main thing here with prox1mo in particular is he's really establishing a huge amount of space before he goes into it. He knows where the opponent is, but he uses it so far away, you can't possibly see him activate it. There is no way you can possibly be ready for it.
Mega health just went in the way of Baksteen as well, though. Baksteen, this is what he did in round 1. As soon as he lost his first champion, this visor, he just slows the game down to a crawl. And clearly it works out for him.
Oh. They both clocked each other, but a little bit slow on the draw.
I think as though Baksteen has a lot of time to work with here. Just exercise the extreme caution. There's that mid-air rail. Baksteen looking good. Oh, there we go.
There's the counter. He knows exactly where he's gone.
Hunted
no
him
reads
down
required.
completely. Gets the spawn as well. Oh, misses the follow-up rail. That could have been another kill.
Dire Orb's going to be gone as well. Important data. Baksteen, nice and healthy to fight for this Mega, and he knows it. He goes in and gets a couple of rockets, and that's all he needed. That's going to be a free Mega as well, and another good spawn.
Baksteen finds himself one frag away from taking this first map. Has to just take out Blazkowicz now, but we've seen how much this character can shred down. Hasn't got any armor, so has to be very careful. No armor versus Blazkowicz is just asking to die.
Now, if there's one champion in the game that can shred you fast enough to make a comeback, it's going to be Blazkowicz. Even with that 75 health, Blazkowicz doesn't really care about that. Here he goes! And that's why. You just have to be so careful. The preemptive dual wield, expecting him to come around the corner to fight for the Mega. He did just that. prox1mo deleted his health.
If Baksteen can take a fight before the dual wield comes back, he might be able to stand a chance, but he has to be very careful now.
Force him away from the heavy armor. That's going to be a great start for prox1mo, actually. In fact, he was able to force Baksteen off it. Already low on armor, and now he can't collect the heavy.
This will be a crucial frag for how the rest of this map's going to play out, though. prox1mo, if he wins this, is going to tie things up. Baksteen wins this. He's taken the map. 1 minute left to go before sudden death. They're not really as important now. It's just one each. .45 seconds remaining before sudden death starts.
Dual wield on deck, but that doesn't
Look
mean
at the patience.
Baksteen.
prox1mo, he's waiting for something.
I think he's looking to ambush him by Mega Health. He's even more likely to stay here now. He knows Baksteen collected the heavy armor. The Mega Health is next on the list. And he's heard it.
Oh, she's behind him.
Not even interested in staying there too long.
Yeah, and after holding on to Mega Health all that time.
Ooh, I think he was more interested in trying to let her take it and then hit her with the rail to undo the damage that she just got back. It's a bit hard to call now. They've both got a nice amount of health and armor. They've both got their abilities, which means that one will have to bait the other.
Oh,
There's
wow,
the
well
prediction.
timed.
Oh, he gets it! And there we go. He's tied up, 2-2.
Do you think that Baksteen got caught without Ghost Walk there?
Well, I mean, I can't think of why else he wouldn't have used it, so he must have. Either way.
He also dual-wielded straight with a rocket launcher too. Normally it's sort of something a little bit different, but just a rate of fire on those massive damaging projectiles.
And it does go hand in hand with fast rate of fire weapons, but you do, I believe it's like 1.25 increase with machine gun based weapons, and then it's 1.5 with single shots. So 1.5 fire rate with a rocket launcher is still unbelievable.
There we go. Got himself rocket launcher and a rail. Oh, big damage from that rocket though.
He's definitely going to know that Baksteen is, well, now not so much. Baksteen was too weak, or was not weak enough to finish off with the rail, but the second he got that second one, that's why prox1mo was sitting there and hanging around. Oh, missed the rail ever so slightly. This is great for Baksteen. Really good dodges there from prox1mo too at the last possible minute, just shifting himself.
prox1mo starting to hit a bit more of these rails on the target, but there we go, Baksteen with the prediction of where he's going to go.
Baksteen has been looking at that teleporter for quite a huge amount of this game in general. He's been looking at the teleporter, and that's one of the first times he actually got the reaction.
Man, he's sticking to his guns, starting to pay off.
They trade!
The trade! I think prox1mo was almost going for the telefrag there, perhaps. Trading it out, so it's just going to be a straight up reverse. Now prox1mo's on the Ranger and Baksteen's on the... Oh! Hello!
Wrecked. Baksteen is back to that visor. His visor has put in so much work throughout this map. He has to do it again.
I mean, wasn't Baksteen up 2 rounds at the start of this? Is prox1mo making a full comeback?
He is in the process of making a remarkable comeback. Going in for piercing sight, but I don't really think he cares that he can be seen too much, especially when he was in his line of sight anyway. There he is.
Oh, good rail. Baksteen 1 shot away from death. prox1mo missing these shots.
That was a nice,
really counts.
Nice turnaround from prox1mo too. How he's able to use the die roll. There's the heavy armor, but he's still not particularly healthy. One more of those. There we go. prox1mo with a turnaround.
Wow, that is composure you need. prox1mo was significantly down in rounds. And even took himself match point against himself for 1 point there too, but was able to keep himself together and made a full comeback. Wow. Map 1 goes to prox1mo.
The impressive thing that we saw there was that it really did come down to all 3 of his champions. There was no real individual standout performance. I think all 3 champions had their own individual place, even Blaskovic, who you don't see very often. It was that last-minute dual wheel during the sudden death where he had the faster fire rate rocket launcher. That was exactly the utility he needed in that exact situation. So, well played, and that's just one map. There's still potentially 2 more to go.
But think about it though, you know, we saw Nyx ghost walks used to secure kills by themselves in like effective and brave fashion. We saw some dire orb, we even saw a telefrag once, didn't we? Or at least, you know, a dire orb kill in that
it was definitely a telefrag.
And then we saw Blaskovic dual wield you. So clearly, prox1mo has put time into all 3 of these champions and knows basically what to do with them in those clutch 1v1s, and that works out, which is something that we see a lot of times usually, and often we will get people that were kind of like, you know, they clearly have like a premier champion that is they have clearly the most comfortable with, and I really think this is a game where it is about being equally comfortable with all 3 of your team, just so you can make those comebacks, no matter who you are now stuck with.
So what we do know is that prox1mo has a Blaskovic for Blood Run, which is not a conventional pick. So when we see the map inevitably be changed, because the map is about to change to something else, do we see the same team composition, because he's clearly well aware of how to use all 3, or again, is it going to be map specific, and he just really wanted to use Blaskovic on that one specific map? If we see a change, will he go with something different, or will he stick with the Blaskovic?
It might be based on what we see them both pick anyway. I think it's going to be very map dependent. I mean, like you said, Blaskovic on Blood Run isn't something we see every time. Usually if we see a Blaskovic, it's 9 times out of 10 on Corrupted Keep, because Corrupted Keep is kind of favoured for those big bodies. I mean, Clutch specifically is horrendously popular on Corrupted Keep. But even then, like, I wouldn't normally expect to see Blaskovic on Blood Run anyway, based on what we've seen today or even this week alone. So I'm honestly not really too sure. I think it just comes down to how they're feeling and how confident they are. Because like we said, right, prox1mo was clearly good on all 3 of those. So 2 of them, you know, being Nyx and Ranger, we tend to see on most maps anyway. So I really think Blaskovic is the only one that we might see change, if at all.
Ranger and Nyx are both, you know, what you could almost consider like the basic, where they work on every map. There is no situation you find yourself in with either of those 2 champions where you're at a disadvantage, because they kind of have a tool for every occasion you tend to find yourself in. So they work all the time. For me, it really feels like the potential variable, where do we see those 2 picked on every single map, and then the final one is dependent. Because that's quite a running theme as well, where we see 2 champions that are always picked on someone's team comp, and the third is the one that will depend. It's not really an entire team. It's 2 that you always use, and then you have 1 depending on what kind of tools you want for the job, be it the map you're on or the champions that you find yourself against.
Well, we'll be finding out what map they'll be going for as soon as possible. I think we're just getting this next match underway. Let's not forget, this is Quake World Championship, European European, EU regional qualifier opportunity and the final opportunity for all of our remaining players today. prox1mo is up 1 map, so he needs to win 1 more to secure his spot in the regionals in a few weeks' time. But ultimately, we could go down to a map 3, as we have seen time and time again today. But obviously, these guys want to be taking their time and make sure that they are 100% ready to go, because this is their last opportunity for DueL.
Well, we have had many games today. And it's been quite a marathon. I mean, it's been quite a long one with the amount of close games that we've had. And the close games are, to me, of no surprise, because we had a lot of 2-0s throughout all of the qualifying weeks, especially week 1 and 2. It was 2-0s left, right, and centre. Even when you write down the results you had, it's like, even though the maps themselves went close, the results didn't really reflect how close they were. Whereas now, the results are 100% reflecting how close the maps have gone. And with the pressure, it doesn't surprise me one bit. I think they're playing their hearts out because they should be. This is their last chance to do so.
This is the week we expected to see this for sure. And it's going to be Corrupted Keep for another time. And here we go. Now, what does prox1mo do? Okay, Galena from Baksteen. That's already a bit of a change.
That's one variable.
Welcome back, Galena.
Back on the visor. Now, prox1mo is going to get the choice of 2. Scale Bearer. That's an immediate
change. But who
change.
does he replace with this? Ah, Nyx is replaced with it.
It's very rare that you see Nyx replaced. Nyx isn't really the variable a lot of the time, but I guess in this case, she very well was. We've got Ranger and Blazkowicz again, but it's Scale Bearer instead. Works really well on Corrupted Keep, so I'm not surprised.
We've seen Scale Bearer once today. It was on Corrupted Keep and it was effective. I don't think it won the map, but it was efficient when it was in. I don't think Scale Bearer is the reason for that loss. And I mean, Scale Bearer is one of those champions that I think has kind of almost phased out as Clutch has become more popular. Sorlag's kind of always been
Scale Bearer is old and busted. Clutch is new hotness.
I mean, I suppose so. But that's what I mean, right? Like, earlier on, like a few weeks ago, Scale Bearer was ridiculously popular on... We'd see him in almost every match in one of the compositions between the two in these best of 3
I think early on, Scale Bearer was like the premier big body.
Especially in DueL,
if someone went with a tanky champion, it was always him because he had the navigation, he had the sheer level of beef, his charge did massive damage, which was a great answer to the smaller champions that you can pretty much paste in a max level charge. And it's the damage immunity, where you can get out of a bad situation while taking half damage, and it's a great way to survive. It still works. That's the thing. Even though it may feel like Scale Bearer is being like replaced, quote unquote, he can still do the job he does very well. And right there, immediately Baksteen is going to deny that quick access to the LG.
Hey man, at the end of the day, there is still only one champion in the game that can run at you at a high speed and kill you on impact.
And already, we're seeing Baksteen come off way better, and he's actually pushing the advantage. He knows he has done more damage than he has taken.
And at any point, he can run back and go back to this totem just to heal himself up.
Well, that's in that way, in that essence, the teleporter is just... And that was a great throw, by the way. Clearly, Baksteen is going to be aware of how he utilizes Galena on this map.
And now, let's not forget, as always, there is no rail on this map, so if they want to get that sort of ranged bullet damage, it's going to have to come through this. The machine gun is your best friend for that ranged damage.
Immediately catches a rocket for 82. That's going to do a nice chunk. Point blank, challenging prox1mo.
Yeah, prox1mo is dedicated to this fight. Baksteen quite low.
That's definitely the sound of a charge that missed, I think. If he goes in for the teleport now, he's going to go for the Mega. Will he try and take the LG? He does indeed, and because of it, he loses well over half of the health he just had.
We're going Baksteen once again denying these pickups. We actually see him do that quite often. Let's go to those little ones. As soon as he sees that prox1mo is taking damage, he just goes straight to the nearest health.
The useful thing about the fact that he ran into that totem after taking Mega was that it pretty much, the Mega wasn't, it essentially wasn't taken. It's just a 30-second countdown for no difference of health.
Oh, unfortunate, bit of a wasted totem. Oh, the charge. Using it to get to the armor, I think.
Yeah, he's going to take minimal damage along the way too. Second he grabs it, prox1mo now looking nice and ready. The Mega, 20% off cooldowns. Even the Mega does work nicely within her passive.
Oh yeah, he's committed to the fight. prox1mo is shredding him down. Oh, almost takes him with the totem, but prox1mo just stays out of the range, I think. Baksteen sent to this Nyx, and prox1mo very much on full health.
Big damage, and he gets 3 of them. Going in for the charge, probably trying to catch a respawn, so nice awareness. That's going to be a free Mega as well.
This is Visor though, his escape options are limited.
Oh! Thing is, prox1mo may be weak, but so is Baksteen.
And I don't know if Baksteen has actually picked up a rocket launcher yet. He's only got the LG. But he did just back off into some health. Oh! And he pops around the corner with a super shotgun.
Straight into Blazkowicz. Again, prox1mo going for that early kill.
There's a rocket launcher now, though. I think he picked it up from Scale Bearer Body.
I'm pretty sure I just saw a silhouette dual wield. I could be wrong. Point blank, and a second point blank super shotgun. On this map, the super shotgun is such an amazing tool.
Baksteen, though, on the verge of a full comeback using this Visor.
This comeback has been very impressive. Just excellent management, excellent damage too. He's making sure his shots count, and he does it again. 3 straight champions in a row.
Cannot count Baksteen out. That was insane. And all with the shotgun as well.
Straight away, 1 round up.
I mean, that is not what we expect to see. prox1mo was looking completely in control at the start, but Baksteen, you know, there's this Visor. He's picked it twice in a row, and this seems to make sense now.
I will not grant you that privilege.
Another early start. Baksteen choosing to start with the Galena once more as well, but he eats so much LG. The totem, though, brings him up. Healthy enough to survive, but for how long?
Oh, dear. Turned into paste.
Not long enough, clearly.
Not quite, more just like nudged him over.
Shoved him, and he hurt his leg. And died.
Goodbye.
RIP.
But now, though, prox1mo stacked up on health, 200 to work with. And a very generous cooldown on that bull rush, too.
Yeah, underratedly, one of the smallest cooldowns in the game.
Oh, doesn't clip the rocket. The thing is, though, even if prox1mo is able to kill this next, we already know that Baksteen's Visor is more than capable of making a comeback by itself.
I think that's also really impressive that we saw the comeback come from Visor, whose ability in passive, it's not really a damaging ability. You know, it's a comeback that has to come from your own sense and your own accuracy. It's not like a damage-dealing ability or a mobility thing.
Wow, prox1mo taken down immediately.
This is a good map for Baksteen right now.
Baksteen's, yeah, prox1mo's actually spawned up near the OG twice now.
There's the dual wield shred. The dual wield gauntlets.
That's the power. I feel like we don't see the dual wield like instantly end a fight as much as we probably should. But the thing is, it really just enforces you to just commit to that fight.
There's the point blank, 100 damage rocket, but he's trying to finish it off. Denying the Mega. And I mean, Baksteen kind of in that situation, he couldn't really get away. And expletives, these players need to watch their language.
It's almost as if I don't think they realize it goes on the stream.
Well,
I think we must relay this information.
Please stop swearing. Rel, it's 1-1.
I must admit,
either way,
there is a significant... Oh, let's not talk about that.
I don't know what happened.
What happened? Nothing happened.
Let's move on. Galena goes first again.
Oh, look at this LG tracking. That's a lot of damage coming out from Baksteen. Stuck in the corner again.
Speaking of again, I think Baksteen heard you. Keeping him at bay. And because it's Galena, she has no sort of like quick repositioning. She can sustain herself with the totem, but
yeah, it's going to be very hard for her to get out of this when we don't have those mobility options.
It's going to be risky.
Controlled. I mean, she has the totem to keep herself alive up there. Will Baksteen use this time to get out?
Nice trail, but looking good for prox1mo. Forced to run away, though. Doesn't have access to a rocket launcher, so that's why he didn't swap to it. Doesn't let Baksteen jump pad into his totem right there. If he survived for an extra second and landed, that fight might have been a completely different story.
Oh,
Teleports
there we go.
Straight into his hands. That's exactly where prox1mo wanted him to go, forcing Baksteen to retreat. Now Baksteen on the back foot.
Heavy armor secured as well. prox1mo being a very chunky champion.
Gonna meet head on, but that rocket causing Baksteen to sort of retreat. Second guess where he's going to approach this. Still 10 seconds away from the Mega, so the fight beforehand, there's not going to be... He does actually manage to get it. Must have picked up some of those hourglasses on the way.
Oh, that rocket giving away where Baksteen is, but he's also managed to clear the space.
I think even if the charge doesn't manage to land a frag, it's doing a good job of allowing prox1mo to keep up with Nyx. Doesn't want to fight too much, even though he's got all this health. Yeah, that's it. 2 good rockets. He's already got back down.
Though. Armor.
Oh, he gets him on 16 HP. Baksteen at the last minute.
I mean, prox1mo just managed those pickups brilliantly.
Visor saw him.
There we go. He's running towards heavy armor. This isn't going to be... Actually, I don't think Visor's going to be able to keep up with him.
That's completely uncontested.
Oh, he knocked him into the fire!
The floor is lava again! Oh,
that knockback straight into the lava pit.
ouch.
Through the fire and the flames. Scale Bear is dead.
Here we go.
Baksteen, I mean, look how weak he is, though. He took a lot of damage in that exchange.
He did indeed.
Oh, he's seen him too. We know prox1mo's got a dual wield. Is he going to do it here?
But he's contesting a dual wield with an
Wow.
SMG. Are we going to see another Visor comeback? He's sitting on the mega health, but it's down for 22 seconds. He's going to be here for a lot longer than I think he's ready for.
Is Baksteen's Visor just going to be the comeback machine?
It's not really a champion you see loads of massive comebacks made with either.
I mean, because if you make a comeback with Visor, it very much is like, you just have to shoot them better than they shoot you. You're given the advantage, obviously, of knowing their position once every 40 seconds, but fundamentally, once that fight starts, you just have to outgun them.
Oh, 100 damage. That's going to cause prox1mo to second-guess his approach. And now the Mega... Oh, dear. He collected the Mega right as that die orb connected. That must have been on the frame.
Oh, LG damage coming out. Baksteen's lost his armor. prox1mo has some, but less health. Big rocket, that's going to be good for this fight. Okay, Baksteen just trying to prioritize keeping himself alive, I think.
Laying a trap, but prox1mo not biting.
Oh, another LG 1v1.
Staying away from die orb, but he loses the exchange. prox1mo manages to take it again.
Oh, Baksteen came so close to doing another almost unthinkable comeback, but gets snuffed out this time. prox1mo now on match point. If prox1mo takes this round, he will be advancing through to the regionals. And Baksteen will be eliminated.
That's a great start for prox1mo. He's going to grab that heavy armor. He's going to make the migration immediately onto the rocket, and this could not have been a better start for him. The one rocket as well doing huge damage, and a super shotgun. Baksteen is hurting already. It's likely he put the totem down to the teleport onto his own totem. He's going to give him a little bit of top up.
Machine gun is doing a lot of damage. Oh, super shotgun from above.
A big part of that just came down to how much of an amazing start prox1mo had, getting those weapons that he needed. Good navigation with the charge. Does manage to get the Mega, but taking big damage and forced to use the invisibility is not a good use of that Mega. But there wasn't much Baksteen could do. Once he'd taken it, he was guaranteed to take that damage from the rocket.
Oh, he's going to know Baksteen's going to have the rocket now. Goes up for the charge. Oh no. Baksteen completed the circuit round, went towards heavy armor.
Yeah, definitely expecting him to be right instead of left. But it just wasn't the case. 8 seconds on the Mega.
Oh, Ghostwalk's not going to be up, and that's a clean kill. prox1mo now finds himself one champion away from qualifying for regionals. Baksteen is again forced to try and make a full comeback with Visor, but he's not letting him do it.
He's gone in for the piercing sight, but prox1mo is so stacked, I don't really think it even matters if he can see him. This could very well be the final life for Baksteen.
He's got the charge.
Uh-oh. That's it, I think. That's
He's got nowhere to run.
Oh,
he's being careful.
Yeah, he pushed a little bit hard, but...
Ooh.
Oh, yeah, just about, yeah.
I mean, Baksteen has himself a shotgun again. We've already seen him do wonderful things with that so far.
Well, the shotgun is dictated by how many pellets land, and if you're a bigger champion, you are likely to take more pellets, and therefore more damage. Here comes a full speed ahead.
Yeah, that was actually really good from Baksteen, just to deter him from chasing him down. Baksteen, there we go, the heavy armor is in his favor.
This is a high-stress situation. Baksteen has to make this comeback. If he doesn't, he is out of the World Championship.
Does prox1mo bait on the rocket launcher? No, not quite sure. Baksteen is content, just sort of sitting in this mega health room, doesn't want to give up control of it at all. Oh, he's chasing him down.
He's committing. Oh dear! That's it! Is that enough?
No, not quite.
And
Baksteen!
100, a charge, and a 100 damage rocket, and Baksteen is still alive!
That's because Baksteen is managing his health really well. Every time he takes any damage, he just tops himself back up to 100% as fast as physically possible.
Very
and
rarely.
that saved him in that situation. But 2.5 minutes now, the clock is going to start to work against Baksteen as he has to take out 3 champions. Piercing sight is popped, he knows where he is. Does he go for the kill? He's going to see that prox1mo just got himself the mega health.
He's going to try and head him off. They're going to trade LG. Oh, full screen charge! Baksteen